ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, who I don't see, but he's supposed to be near here, is, oh good, there he is, okay. Nationally syndicated talk show host, columnist, public speaker, and author, Dennis Prager.
I make a living talking to people, but this is not, okay, louder, better. This is not one of those times that I have looked forward to speaking. It is difficult for me to believe that the government of the United States of America, the greatest defender of freedom, the greatest fighter of evil of any country that has ever existed, has signed a treaty enabling the worst country in the world to be strong. It doesn't make sense. And I want you to understand this is not a left-right issue. It is a right-wrong issue. And I'm not saying that for political reasons. I'm saying it for moral reasons and because there's proof. I'll wait for them to go. There's proof. The Israeli left is completely behind Netanyahu on this matter. The Israeli left is indistinguishable from the rest of society there and from the opposition to this agreement in the United States of America. Let me read to you from the opposition leader, the head of Israel's Labor Party, Isaac Herzog. This is from The Atlantic just last week. Last December, when I interviewed the leader of Israel's left-leaning Labor Party, Isaac Boogie Herzog, he said, "I trust the Obama administration to get a good deal." In a telephone call with me last night, Herzog's message was very different. The deal, he said, quote, will unleash a lion from the cage. It will have a direct influence over the balance of power in our region. It's going to affect our borders and it will affect the safety of my children. Iran is an empire of evil and hate that spreads terror across the region. Iran will become a nuclear threshold state in a decade or so. This is from the head of the left in Israel. So it is not left-right, it's right-wrong. You don't know, Roz said earlier, you don't know how bad the treaty is until you actually look into it. Do you know that? I'll give you the actual name. It's Annex number 3, I believe. Yes, Annex 3. The signatories commit to, quote, cooperation through training and workshops to strengthen Iran's ability to protect against and respond to nuclear security threats, including sabotage, as well as to enable effective and sustainable nuclear security and physical protection systems. We are committed to protecting Iran against those who would hurt Iran. Do you understand that? Is that not a broken moral compass? It's embarrassing. I love this country so much. It's one of the rare moments I am embarrassed. There is an embarrassment to have an administration sign something like this. They say that the only alternative is war. No, the only alternative was more sanctions. That was the alternative. It's not true about war. We have bailed Iran out. They were weakening. We have bailed them out with this godforsaken treaty. I beg you, I have never encountered this sense in my life in the United States of America. I do believe that this is analogous to Munich. There are people who say, oh, there's a professor who wrote in the Jewish Journal of Los Angeles, you can't compare it to Munich. The Jews of Europe couldn't defend themselves, but Israel can. But don't you why? Because it has nuclear weapons, Israel? Iran doesn't care if it's attacked by nuclear weapons. These people do not believe in mutual assured destruction. The Soviet leaders believed in it. That's why there was no war with the Soviet Union. They didn't want to be destroyed. The fanatics in Tehran are okay with being destroyed as long as Jews die as well. That's the difference. Why can't people understand that? These are the moral equivalent of ISIS. There is no difference except one. There are only two differences between the Iranian regime and Islamic State. Only two. And they are that one is Shiite and one is Sunni, and one advertises its atrocities and one hides its atrocities. Those are the only differences. When we make an agreement with Islamic State, would the United States sign a treaty with Islamic State? Then what is the difference? I want to know. Ask Secretary of State Kerry, what is the difference between Tehran and the Islamic State? What is the moral difference, Mr. Secretary? Name one. The parallels to 38 are frightening, are just frightening. Let me give you just a few of them. The Nazi regime was a police state. The Islamic Republic of Iran is a police state. The Nazi regime's great hatred was Jews. Iran's great hatred is the Jewish state. The Nazis' greatest aim was to exterminate the Jews of Europe. Iran's greatest aim is to exterminate the Jewish state. Nazi Germany hated the West and its freedoms. The Islamic Republic of Iran hates the West and its freedoms. Germany sought to dominate Europe. Iran seeks to dominate the Middle East and the Muslim world. Just as Britain and France appeased Nazi Germany, the same two countries, along with the United States, have chosen to appease Iran. And most ominously, just as the Western democracies dismissed Nazi Germany as the Jews' problem, the Western democracies dismissed the Islamic Republic of Iran as Israel's problem. So here's a word to the non-Jews of Europe and the Americas. First they kill Jews, then they kill you. And if you don't know that, you are, with all respect, an idiot. They never, ever, ever end with Jews. They always start with Jews, but they never end with Jews. The world ignored the terror against Israel, and now look at the Christian communities of the Middle East. And look at how many Muslims are blown up at their mosques. But it was dismissed, Islamic terror, as Israel's problem. Now it's everybody's problem. Iran is everybody's problem. And that is all we need to know. I beg you to do everything possible. I think this is an unprecedented moment in modern American history. People I respect, like Charles Krauthammer, think it is the worst deal the United States has ever signed in its history. This is a very serious moment. I'll end with a very simple thought. Simple, but not simplistic. Iran is at war with the United States, but the United States is not at war with Iran. And I'm not calling for troops, but at least a war of words, a war of politics, and a war of sanctions. This notion, this is mind-boggling. Let's bring Iran into the community of nations. It's the opposite. Let us exclude Iran from the community of nations. Thank you. God bless you for coming. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Dennis Prager. Thank you. Help him down.